How to survive a heart attack alone. After 67 life-saving tips, every senior must know. Recognizing the early signs, your first line of defense. If you're over 60, living alone, or even just spending time solo, recognizing the early warning signs of a heart attack could be the one skill that saves your life. One of the biggest dangers for seniors isn't the heart attack itself. It's not realizing one is happening. Too often, seniors ignore the symptoms, attributing them to indigestion, fatigue, or just getting older. But when it comes to heart health after 60, waiting could cost you everything. So what are these life-saving signals that every senior should know? The most common and well-known symptom is chest pain, but this can be misleading. Many seniors don't experience sharp, crushing pain. Instead, it can feel like pressure, tightness, or a squeezing sensation in the center of the chest. This feeling might last for a few minutes, go away, and come back. If you're over 60 and feel any strange chest discomfort, especially if it's new or different, take it seriously. However, not all heart attacks present as chest pain. Seniors often experience pain or discomfort in the arms, neck, jaw, back, or even the stomach. Women over 60 in particular may feel pain in the jaw or upper back, symptoms that are often dismissed or misdiagnosed. Don't be fooled by location. Your heart could be screaming for help from places you wouldn't expect. Shortness of breath is another red flag. If you suddenly feel winded during light activity or even at rest, your heart might not be pumping effectively. This symptom can occur with or without chest discomfort. Other important signs include breaking into a cold sweat, sudden nausea, or feeling lightheaded and faint. These are especially dangerous if they come on quickly or don't go away. Another symptom that flies under the radar is unexplained fatigue, the kind that makes even everyday tasks feel overwhelming. If you're usually active but find yourself too tired to climb stairs or take a short walk, don't just chalk it up to age. Early recognition of these symptoms is the first and most vital step to surviving a heart attack alone after 60. Ignoring them, even for a few minutes, can lead to serious and irreversible heart damage. And remember, heart attacks don't always strike dramatically. In seniors, they can be silent or subtle, yet just as deadly. In our next section, we'll dive into exactly what to do in the first 60 seconds when you suspect you're having a heart attack and there's no one around. These rapid response actions could be the difference between life and death. What to do in the first 60 seconds? The golden minute that saves lives. When a heart attack strikes and you're alone, every second counts, especially the first 60. This short window is often called the golden minute for a reason. What you do during this time can dramatically increase your chances of survival. If you're over 60, living alone, or spend a lot of time without others around, you absolutely must know how to respond when those first warning signs hit. The very first step is to acknowledge what's happening. Many seniors delay treatment because they hope the discomfort will pass or assume it's something minor like indigestion. But hesitation can be deadly. If you feel sudden chest discomfort, shortness of breath, dizziness, jaw pain, or break into a cold sweat, don't wait. Trust your instincts and assume it's a heart attack until proven otherwise. Once you suspect a heart attack, call emergency services immediately. In the US, that means dialing 911. Even if you feel like you might still be able to drive, don't. Driving yourself can result in loss of consciousness behind the wheel, putting your life and others in danger. Emergency responders are trained to begin life-saving treatment the moment they arrive. Plus, every minute saved before hospital treatment begins helps preserve heart muscle. Next, chew, don't swallow whole, an aspirin, ideally 325 milligrams. Aspirin helps thin the blood and reduce clotting, which can slow or even stop the heart attack's progression. Chewing it speeds up absorption into the bloodstream. Keep a small bottle of aspirin in easily accessible locations: your kitchen, nightstand, purse, or even your coffee table. Seniors who live alone should also consider setting emergency medication reminders or carrying a pillbox keychain with aspirin. Now sit down in a comfortable, upright position. Lying flat can make breathing harder and worsen symptoms. Sitting also helps blood flow more efficiently. Try to remain calm. Panic only elevates your heart rate and blood pressure, making things worse. If you've been prescribed nitroglycerin, take it as directed while waiting for help. Some older tips, like the so-called cough CPR, are no longer recommended by cardiologists for heart attacks. They don't work and could waste valuable time. The key here is preparation. Don't wait for an emergency to learn this. Practice mentally rehearsing these steps. Keep emergency numbers and aspirin nearby. Teach your loved ones and talk about these actions often. Remember, when surviving a heart attack alone after 60, your best chance lies in what you do immediately. Every heartbeat matters. Recognizing silent symptoms. What most seniors miss until it's too late. Not all heart attacks come with chest-clutching pain like in the movies. In fact, many seniors, especially women and people over 60, experience silent or atypical heart attack symptoms. These subtle warning signs often get ignored, delayed, or misdiagnosed. But recognizing them early can literally save your life. One of the most overlooked symptoms in older adults is fatigue. Not the kind you feel after a busy day, but a sudden and unexplained exhaustion that hits you like a wall. If walking across the room or climbing a single step suddenly feels overwhelming and there's no reason for it, this could be your heart signaling distress. This is particularly true if it's paired with lightheadedness or a sense of impending doom. Another symptom seniors often miss is pain in areas other than the chest. While chest discomfort is still common, many older individuals report pain in the neck, back, jaw, shoulders, or arms, especially the left arm. Women in particular may experience these symptoms without ever having chest pressure at all. Seniors must learn to take these pains seriously, even when they come and go or don't feel severe. Shortness of breath, especially when at rest or with minimal exertion, is another red flag. If you're watching TV or sitting at your kitchen table and suddenly feel like you can't catch your breath, that's not normal. Even if you've never had heart issues before, sudden breathlessness could mean your heart isn't pumping efficiently. Some people also experience nausea, sweating, or dizziness. These signs are often brushed off as a stomach bug or low blood sugar, especially among diabetics. But in context, especially if you're over 60, they could be signs of cardiac distress. What makes silent symptoms so dangerous is that they lead to delayed treatment. Many seniors wait hours or even days, hoping things will improve on their own. By then, the heart damage may be extensive, or worse, irreversible. That's why education is critical. Here's what you can do. Write down a list of these symptoms and keep it on your fridge. Review them regularly. Share the list with friends or neighbors. If you experience any of these signs, even if they seem mild, act fast. Call for help, chew aspirin, and prepare for transport. When it comes to heart attacks after 60, silence isn't golden. It's deadly. The earlier you recognize the warning signs, the greater your odds of survival and recovery. Why chewing aspirin immediately could save your life. If you're over 60 and think you're having a heart attack, there's one small action that could drastically increase your chances of survival. Chewing an aspirin immediately. Not swallowing, not taking it later. Chewing it right away. This simple move can buy you precious time while waiting for help, especially if you're alone. Aspirin is a powerful antiplatelet drug, which means it helps stop your blood from clotting. Most heart attacks are caused by a blood clot blocking a coronary artery, cutting off oxygen to part of the heart. Chewing aspirin quickly introduces the medication into your bloodstream through the mouth's mucous membranes, allowing it to start working in minutes. This helps slow the clotting process, restore some blood flow, and limit heart muscle damage. Many seniors already have aspirin in their medicine cabinets, but few know exactly how and when to use it. If you're experiencing chest pain, shortness of breath, or radiating arm pain, all classic symptoms of a heart attack, and you're not allergic to aspirin, chew a 325 milligram tablet or 481 milligram baby aspirins immediately. Don't just swallow it whole. Chewing increases absorption speed. Timing is everything. According to the American Heart Association, early administration of aspirin can reduce the risk of death during a heart attack by up to 23%. It's not a cure, but it's a critical first step. For best results, keep a small bottle of uncoated aspirin in places you frequent: your bedroom nightstand, car glove compartment, purse, and kitchen. You might even consider using a pill organizer labeled Heart Emergency for quick access. If you travel or walk regularly, keep a dose in your wallet. There's one thing to note. Do not take aspirin if you've been told by a doctor to avoid it, or if you have certain conditions like a bleeding disorder or active ulcers. Always consult your physician about whether taking aspirin during a suspected heart attack is safe for you, and keep this information easily accessible. Remember, if you're alone and suspect a heart attack, aspirin could be your lifeline. Don't wait for pain to get worse. Chew that aspirin while calling for help. You can reduce the damage and potentially save your own life, all with one small tablet. How to call for help without wasting precious time. When every second counts, knowing how to call for emergency help fast and effectively can be the difference between life and death, especially if you're over 60 and living alone. Calling for help seems straightforward, but during a heart attack, confusion, dizziness, and panic can make even the simplest tasks overwhelming. That's why it's crucial to prepare in advance and know exactly what to do. First, if you suspect you're having a heart attack, don't drive yourself to the hospital. Driving increases your risk of collapsing behind the wheel and endangering yourself and others. Instead, immediately dial your country's emergency number, 911 in the US or the local equivalent in your region. If you live alone, make sure your phone is always within reach, especially at night or in the bathroom. Two common places where seniors suffer heart attacks. Consider using a wearable emergency alert system or a smart speaker like Amazon Echo or Google Nest. These devices can respond to voice commands like, "Alexa, call 911," or "Hey Google, call emergency services," even if you can't reach your phone. When calling, stay calm and speak clearly. State your name, address, and that you believe you're having a heart attack. If you feel too weak to talk, try using a pre-written emergency card near your phone that you can read from or show to a neighbor or paramedic. You can also enable emergency SOS features on your smartphone, which send your location to a trusted contact or emergency service when activated. Speed matters. According to the American College of Cardiology, most deaths from heart attacks happen in the first hour, usually before a patient reaches the hospital. That's why calling for help within the first 5 minutes of symptoms is critical. After calling, leave the door unlocked if you can safely do so emergency personnel can reach you without delay. Sit in a comfortable, upright position, chew your aspirin if advised, and focus on staying calm while help arrives. Also, create an emergency contact list with names, medical history, allergies, and medications, and post it on your fridge. Paramedics are trained to look there first. Make this list large, clear, and updated regularly. Remember, you might be alone, but you're not helpless. Calling for help the right way can save your life. Mastering emergency breathing and calming techniques. When you're alone and think you're having a heart attack, your body may be flooded with fear. This natural panic response can actually worsen your condition, accelerating your heart rate and increasing the strain on your cardiovascular system. Seniors over 60 must learn how to stay calm and use controlled breathing techniques to survive a heart attack alone. This section will walk you through easy, science-backed calming methods that could help you stay alive long enough to receive medical help. First, if you're feeling chest pain, shortness of breath, dizziness, or discomfort in the arms or jaw, classic early heart attack symptoms, stop all activity immediately. Sit or lie down and focus on stabilizing your breathing. The best position is sitting upright with your back supported and your knees bent. This position reduces strain on the heart and improves oxygen flow. Now begin pursed lip breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose for about 4 seconds, then exhale slowly through pursed lips, as if blowing out a candle, for 6 to 8 seconds. This helps slow the heartbeat, reduce anxiety, and keep oxygen moving efficiently through your system. It's one of the best emergency breathing exercises for seniors during a heart event. In addition to breathing, mental focus techniques like repeating a calming phrase or visualizing a safe place can slow your panic response. Research shows that calming your mind helps regulate blood pressure and heart rate, both of which are crucial when facing a cardiovascular emergency. You might also try cough CPR. Though controversial, some cardiologists suggest that if you're fully alert and feel your heart going into arrhythmia, irregular beats, a strong cough every couple of seconds may keep blood flowing to the brain for a few moments longer. This is not a replacement for calling 911, but can serve as a temporary life-extending action while waiting for help. Learning to self-regulate stress and panic is a survival skill that every senior should master. Practicing these techniques regularly makes them second nature, so you won't have to think twice when the moment comes. The power of medication awareness, what you should always keep on hand. In an emergency, time is your most precious asset. For seniors living alone, knowing which heart-related medications to keep close and how to use them can literally mean the difference between life and death. This section focuses on heart emergency medication awareness and why it's critical after age 60. The first and most important medication to keep on hand if you're at risk for heart attack is low-dose aspirin. Chewing one 325 milligram tablet or 481 milligram baby aspirins during a suspected heart attack can help thin your blood and reduce clot formation, restoring some blood flow to your heart. But remember, chew, don't swallow whole, as chewing gets it into your system faster. Many seniors are also prescribed nitroglycerin tablets or sprays for angina or known heart conditions. If your doctor has prescribed nitroglycerin, keep it within easy reach at all times, in a pocket, purse, or beside your bed. These tablets work by dilating your blood vessels, easing chest pain, and improving blood flow. Equally important is your medication list, a written or digital record of everything you take, including dosages and schedules. In a heart emergency, especially when emergency responders arrive, having this list visible on your refrigerator or smartphone could guide immediate treatment and prevent harmful drug interactions. If you're a senior living with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or type 2 diabetes, all heart risk factors, your medication routine should already include preventive pharmaceuticals. However, always ask your doctor what emergency medications you can keep on hand in case of a cardiac episode, and what actions to take if symptoms occur alone. Another powerful tool is wearing a medical ID bracelet or having a digital emergency alert device that stores your health data. Some newer smartwatches even have heart rate and ECG monitors that can alert emergency contacts automatically when irregular rhythms or sudden drops in vitals are detected. Seniors should also avoid keeping expired medications. Regularly check your supplies and update them with fresh stock, particularly nitroglycerin and aspirin, which lose potency over time. Section 8. Building a support system. Even if you live alone, surviving a heart attack after 60 isn't only about the moment of crisis, it's about what you have in place before it strikes. One of the most underrated life-saving tools is your support system. While it's true that many seniors live alone, that doesn't mean you have to be isolated. In fact, building a smart, reliable, and proactive support network might be the difference between life and death when symptoms of a heart attack begin. Let's start by defining what a support system really means in this context. It's not just family members, although they're important. It also includes neighbors, friends, nearby healthcare providers, community groups, and even technology-based alert services. Think of this as a safety net made of both people and digital tools. The first thing every senior living alone should do is identify at least 2 emergency contacts who are available during most hours of the day. These should be people you trust and who live within a reasonable distance. Let them know about your medical history, heart attack risk, medications you take, and where to find your emergency medical information in your home. Save them as favorites in your phone and post their contact info somewhere visible. Next, consider investing in a medical alert system. Wearable devices or smartwatches that include a panic button or fall detection. Some even come with built-in EKG monitors that can track irregular heart rhythms and notify caregivers if something looks wrong. These are especially helpful during off hours when you're unlikely to be on the phone or out in public. Don't underestimate the value of community engagement. Join a senior walking group, church circle, or wellness class where people can get to know you and check in regularly. When people notice your routines, they're more likely to act quickly if something seems off. If you're used to calling a neighbor every morning and one day you don't, they'll know to check on you. If you're tech savvy, use your smartphone or voice assistants like Alexa or Google Assistant to set up reminders and emergency calling features. For example, you can say, "Alexa, call help," and have it dial a pre-programmed emergency contact. Lastly, keep a printed, in case of emergency, ICE document near your entryway or on the fridge. This should list medications, health conditions, insurance info, and emergency contacts. Emergency responders are trained to look for it. You may live alone, but with a little planning and connection, you don't have to face an emergency alone. A well-built support system isn't just comforting. It's potentially life-saving when seconds count. Preventing the next attack. Long-term lifestyle shifts that protect your heart. Surviving a heart attack is only the first step. What comes next is just as critical, preventing the next one. For seniors over 60, this means adopting long-term lifestyle changes that protect and strengthen the heart. The good news? Many of these changes are small but powerful. They're not about perfection, they're about consistency and awareness. First and foremost, know your numbers. Your blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and body weight are key indicators of your heart's health. Schedule regular checkups, whether in person or via telehealth, and track these numbers over time. High blood pressure and elevated LDL cholesterol, bad cholesterol, are major contributors to repeat heart attacks, but they can often be controlled with the right mix of diet, exercise, and medication. Speaking of diet, what you eat every single day matters more than you think. A heart-healthy plate is rich in leafy greens, colorful vegetables, berries, lean proteins, whole grains, nuts, and omega-3 rich foods like salmon or flax seeds. Limit trans fats, sodium, sugar, and processed foods. If you can, follow something like the Mediterranean diet, which is backed by decades of heart health research. Hydration is also essential. Seniors often underestimate their water needs, especially when it's not hot out. Staying hydrated helps keep your blood viscosity optimal, reducing the risk of clot formation that could lead to another heart event. Next, move your body every day. Even 15 to 30 minutes of walking, light stretching, or resistance band training can improve circulation, lower blood pressure, and elevate mood. If mobility is limited, chair exercises or aquatic therapy are great options. The goal is consistency, not intensity. Let's talk about stress. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol and adrenaline, which can strain your heart. After 60, many face stressors like loneliness, financial concerns, or grief. Tools like daily meditation, breathing exercises, gratitude journaling, or spiritual practices can lower stress and boost heart resilience. Even short moments of calm, just 5 minutes a day, can have lasting benefits. Sleep hygiene is another pillar. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Poor sleep has been linked to heart disease, weight gain, and insulin resistance. Keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Avoid screens before bed, and try natural sleep aids like magnesium or melatonin if needed, always with your doctor's guidance. Finally, maintain medication compliance and routine follow-ups. Many seniors feel better after surviving a heart attack and stop taking their meds. But this is risky. Set reminders, use pill organizers, and ask your pharmacist for tips to make it easier. Remember, your heart gave you a second chance. These lifestyle shifts can make sure it keeps beating strong, and that you stay independent, vibrant, and safe for years to come. Final steps: creating a personal emergency heart attack survival plan. Now that you've learned the essential techniques and tools to survive a heart attack alone, it's time to take all that knowledge and turn it into something practical. A personal emergency heart attack survival plan. This isn't just for peace of mind, it's a lifeline. Especially after 60, when reaction time may be slower and risk factors are higher, having a plan can literally mean the difference between life and death. Start by identifying your personal risk factors. Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or a history of heart issues? Does heart disease run in your family? Knowing your risks helps determine how aggressively you need to prepare. Keep a written record of your medical conditions, medications, allergies, and emergency contacts, and store it somewhere easy to access, like taped inside a kitchen cabinet or near your bedside. Next, set up an emergency contact system. This could include a medical alert bracelet or a wearable emergency device like a smartwatch that can call 911. Some smartwatches now have fall detection, heart rate alerts, and even ECG features built in. You can also download heart attack detection and SOS apps to your smartphone. If you live alone, consider enrolling in a senior medical alert service. Many offer devices with fall and cardiac detection, GPS tracking, and automatic connection to emergency services. Create a survival toolkit in your home, including aspirin, 81 milligrams, nitroglycerin if prescribed, a flashlight, backup phone charger, and a copy of your health information. Store it all in a labeled, easy-to-grab pouch near your favorite chair or bed. Practice your emergency response steps. Make sure you know how to dial emergency services quickly, what to say to dispatch, how to chew aspirin safely, and how to unlock the door before you lie down. These steps should be second nature, like a fire drill. Run through the process monthly so it becomes instinct. If possible, share your plan with a trusted neighbor, friend, or family member. Let them know where your emergency documents are and ask them to check in periodically, especially if you've had recent symptoms or a hospital visit. And finally, stay engaged in your own care. Get regular heart screenings, attend checkups, follow your medication schedule, and don't ignore new symptoms. A plan isn't about fear. It's about taking control of your heart health so you can live longer, stronger, and more confidently. You survived for a reason. Don't leave your future to chance. Build your survival plan now, because your life is worth protecting.